Hey, bros, mofos, the hell's going down? Back on part 4 of Spud of War here on God of War Chains of Olympus, and so far it's been not a lot happening. Basically, this is set before the first God of War, where Kratos is fighting for the gods, well, on their behalf, and Athena needed Kratos to defend Attica, and Attica is actually the peninsula to Athena's town, Athens. So the Persian army was invading Attica. Kratos was defending it from the Persian army, as well as their pet basilisk that they had. So once we did that, that was really just kind of an opener to the game because it wasn't really story related. Anyway, so after we did that, Kratos is on his road to wherever he's going next, doesn't even know, and he notices Helios's sun chariot. Helios is the Greek sun god, or the god of the sun, or whatever, and drives a chariot around the world, lighting the skies, while he is he's on the other side of the world, or basically whenever it's nighttime. It's the god Morpheus. It's his job to he's basically the god of sleep and dreams, and he comes out. So with Helios's sun chariot crashed into the earth, Morpheus, the god of dreams and sleep, is taken over. And he's not an evil god, but he's supposed to be there whenever Helios isn't. So with Helios never there to light the skies, basically a permanent darkness has taken over. And with that being said, Kratos is called upon by Eos, which is Helios's sister, and she tells Kratos what has happened to Helios and why Kratos needs to save him. So apparently he's being held in captivity by Atlas. Now we'll find out very soon that Atlas is working with Persephone to destroy the world. Now Persephone is Hades' wife, but she doesn't actually like Hades. She was kind of forced into marriage. She was basically kidnapped and forced into marriage by Hades, so there's a lot of negative feelings there. And basically Persephone wants to get even with the world and flatten it, along with Olympus. Basically she wants to flatten Olympus, but she has to flatten the earth, basically the world, to do that. So we'll be finding that out in this episode here. And let's see what else has happened so far in Chains of Olympus. We'll be finding out why Atlas in God of War 2 refers to Kratos as having a history with him. He's actually referring back to now. So although these games, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, they were both released on PSP and then brought to console so that console players could still experience the story. Although they were only handheld released games, they do serve a purpose in tying up a lot of the story that we didn't understand before. So there are just kind of bits and pieces here and there that we don't really get in some of the other games because they weren't explained there. well, here it explains why some of the people have different relationships with Kratos, and shows kind of the history between the different people and Kratos. So in the last episode, we acquired the Flame of Olympus, or the Primordial Fire. And we activated the Sun Chariot. And Kratos was just going to be fine with going somewhere else and not even worrying about Helios. But since the Fire Steeds powering the Sun Chariot basically worked with Helios, they took Kratos straight to Helios in the underworld. So here we are in the underworld on a quest to basically save Helios, not understanding quite yet that there's actually a bigger part to this story than Kratos realizes.
A slave to no one, Charon.
We share a common fate, Kratos. The gods will release neither of us from our torture. Be gone. It is not yet your time, mortal.
So a lot of you guys might be familiar with the Ferryman. A lot of people refer to, oh, pay the Ferryman. You have to pay the Ferryman once you die. The Ferryman is this guy. This is Charon, Ferryman. So you have to pay him a token whenever you die for him to take you across what I believe is the River Styx. So a thing with the Greeks is to die with a gold piece in your eyelid, so that whenever you come to the underworld, you could spin that gold piece with Charon to go where you need to go. But in our case, he's kind of a dick, so we're just going to kill him like Kratos does with everyone.
Here, where the souls of the wicked are tortured in the pits of Tartarus, the wailing and agony of the damned resonated deep throughout the bowels of the underworld.
So we'll see soon that there are actually a few different areas to the underworld. And the first time the first time I fought Charon, I thought I lost, which we do lose, but you have to lose. Whenever he killed me, I was like, what the heck, dude? There's no way I was able to avoid that. He actually is supposed to kill you. You're supposed to come here. So don't worry, we do get a second chance to fight him later. But when we died by Charon, we got sent to the tormented souls. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it's called. The only part of the underworld that I am completely familiar with would be the Elysium Fields. And that is where the pure souls go. Only the pure of souls. So basically that's like whenever you die, in Greek mythology there wasn't a heaven and a hell. Whenever you die, you go to the underworld, period. But there are different parts of the underworld. Some are for tormented souls, some are for, you know, the bad guys, some are for the good guys, which would be Elysium Fields. If you're a good guy, if you spent your life basically our equivalent of heaven would be Elysium Fields in Greek mythology. So it's like it's full of nature, flowers, you know, leaves, grass, while everywhere else in the underworld is not so peaceful. So I'm not sure what the other parts are called. I don't really remember, but Kratos definitely does not get sent to Elysium Fields. However, his daughter Calliope, we'll see soon, does have a part to play in this episode. So I'm just reading a bit about the in case you guys aren't familiar with all of them. This lets us know a little bit about Poseidon, Zeus, Hades. And it's a small puzzle here. I believe this is the part where we get Zeus's gauntlets, I think. Could be wrong, but I don't think I am wrong. Jailor of Tartarus. So this guy basically held the key, or there was a guy basically who held the key to Tartarus, which was, I think I will say Tartarus was one of the parts at least of the underground or the underworld that the punished souls basically. This is where Zeus is, like Titans and stuff like that. So I can't really say the puzzles in the underworld are very hard because none of the puzzles in this whole game are very hard compared to some of the bigger releases, especially 1 and 2. 1 having the entire Pandora's Temple thing going on. That was just one huge puzzle. And then 2 having a lot of kind of confusing puzzles. Not very challenging, but just kind of confusing. again.
Kratos saw before him the remnants of the old rulers of Earth, the mighty Titans. Defeated by the gods and enchained in the depths of Tartarus, they suffered their unjust penance. And for their torment, it was well known that these immortal beings hated the Olympians with immeasurable fury.
So Atlas is basically supposed to be down here, and isn't, because earlier Eos told Kratos that Atlas is who had Helios. So the story of Chains of Olympus will come to a conclusion in the next episode. Everything will be laid on the table, and we'll understand why everything happened. But yeah, so Tartarus is where Zeus pretty much punishes almost everything. Like, if Zeus is punishing somebody to anywhere, it's most likely going to be to Tartarus. So I do try to rush through these God of Wars in bonus mode as quickly as possible to show you guys all the puzzles as kind of a walkthrough with added commentary here and there. So if I'm silent, I'm either just concentrating on the game, figuring puzzles out, or just letting you guys watch cinematics or cutscenes.
By the hands of Zeus, the Titans had been bound and shackled in their torment for 1,000 years, with no hope of escape. Now the chains that once held the Titan Atlas lay broken, and only one question plagued the thoughts of Kratos.
Who will release such evil?
Alright, dudes, that is going to sum up part 4. There's only one more episode in Chains of Olympus, or Spud of War, and I will let you guys check that out whenever it's uploaded. And until then, I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop. Do-wop, do-do-wop, wop, do-do-wop, do-do-wop, do-do-wop.